All right, here's the next two questions, question 3 and 4. Question 3 says, given the following equation, how many grams of sodium hydroxide is produced from 5.6 grams of our starting compound? So first we have to do is we have to balance our chemical equation. So now let's balance. So we say how many grams? We start with what they gave us, so 5.6 grams of our reactant. So first thing we do, we have to go from grams into moles. So in the equation of sodium, and 2 sodiums and 1 oxygen, it's going to weigh 61.979 grams. And we convert that, that'd say 1 mole. Well, in the equation, we have 1 mole of sodium oxide to every 2 moles of sodium hydroxide. So I've canceled my grams, my moles. So on the bottom, I'm going to have 1 mole of sodium hydroxide. And now I have to figure out, I go to my periodic table and I figure out how much this weighs. So sodium is right here, it weighs 22.990. Oxygen is going to weigh 15.999. And then hydrogen up here is going to be 1.008. I'm going to add those up for a total of 39.997 grams. So all I'm left with is grams of sodium hydroxide. So I'm going to take 5.6 times 2 times 39.997 and then divide it on the bottom. So if we were to actually do this on the calculator, excuse me, get my calculator up here. So I'll show you how to walk through this step. So 5.6 times 2 times 39.997. I get that. And then I'm going to divide that by everything on the bottom. Well, since I only have really one number on the bottom, I'm just going to divide by 61.979. Give me a total of 7.22 and a whole bunch of different numbers. I'm only going to keep 2 significant digits. So it would be 7.2 grams sodium hydroxide. That's how we do question 3. Now we'll move on to question 4. Given the following equation, what is the mass of iron needed to react with 16 grams of sulfur? Now there's actually 2 questions within this question, so we're going to do the first part. We're going to balance our chemical equation. So it says, what is the mass of iron needed to react with 16 grams of sulfur? So I'm going to start off with what they gave us, which is going to be 16 grams sulfur. We're going to convert the grams to moles, so 32.06 grams for every 1 mole of sulfur. Again, if we're looking at our periodic table, sulfur is right there, 32.06 for 1 mole. And in my equation, there is only, 1 mole of sulfur for every 8 moles of iron. And 1 mole of iron — 55.845 grams. All right, so I'm going to do the same process here. I'm going to multiply everything on the top by everything on the bottom. So I have 16 times 8 times 55.845. I'm going to divide that by the number on the bottoms, which is this 32.06, for an answer of 223 grams of iron. Now the second part of this question talks about how many grams of iron sulfide are produced. So we're going to start off the exact same way. We start off with our 16 grams of sulfur. But now instead of going into iron, we're going to translate that into iron sulfide. So for every 32.06 grams of sulfur is 1 mole. And back in my equation, I have 1 mole of sulfur. And for every 1 mole of sulfur, we have 8 moles of iron sulfide. And 1 mole of iron sulfide, So we go back to our periodic table, and we're going to add up all of these different totals. So we had 55.845 plus our sulfur, 32.06, gives us a total mass of 87.905. Multiply all the numbers on the top, divide by the numbers on the bottom, for a total of 43.87 grams iron sulfide.